Little twin girls cried, "Please help, Mama's hurt." The single dad dropped everything and ran. It was just another rainy afternoon on a quiet stretch of highway, the kind of day when everyone's in a hurry to get home, away from the cold drizzle and gray skies. But for one single dad named Mark, what started as an ordinary drive with his daughters turned into a moment that would change his life, and someone else's, forever. He was humming along to the radio, his twin girls in their bright raincoats singing in the back seat, when suddenly, he saw two little figures standing by the roadside, crying hysterically. One was in a yellow coat, the other in pink. Their tiny hands were waving, their voices breaking through the sound of rain, "Please help. Mama's hurt." Hey everyone, welcome back to Kindness in Action, where we share true stories that remind us there's still good in this world. If this story touches your heart, please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share it with someone who could use a reminder about the power of kindness. And don't forget to leave a comment, we love hearing your thoughts and stories too. Mark hit the brakes. The tires squealed slightly on the wet pavement as he pulled over to the side of the road. His heart was racing. He told his daughters to stay inside, then jumped out into the cold rain. The twins by the road couldn't have been more than 4 years old. Their faces were streaked with tears and rainwater. One pointed shakily toward a car stopped a few yards ahead, the door wide open, hazard lights blinking. Mark sprinted toward it. Lying beside the car was a woman, clutching her side, her white blouse stained with dirt and blood. She looked dazed, struggling to stay conscious. "Ma'am! Can you hear me?" Mark shouted, kneeling beside her. Her lips trembled. "Please, my girls, are they okay?" "They're fine," he reassured her, glancing back to see the twins standing where he'd left them. "They're safe. Don't worry. I'm here to help." Mark wasn't a doctor, but instinct kicked in. He gently checked to make sure she was breathing steadily. She seemed to have slipped on the wet pavement and hit her head, maybe trying to get out of her car after it stalled. He looked around, there weren't many cars on the road, and the rain was falling harder now. His mind raced. He took off his jacket, tucked it under her head to keep her off the cold ground, and grabbed his phone to dial 911. "Hi, I need an ambulance," he told the operator. "There's been an accident on Highway 12 near mile marker 46. A woman's injured, she's conscious but in pain." As he gave the details, he could hear his own daughters crying in the car, scared by what they saw. The twin girls in the raincoats were now clinging to each other, whispering, "Is Mama gonna be okay?" Mark knelt beside them, his voice calm and gentle. "Hey, it's okay, sweethearts. The ambulance is coming. You were so brave to get help. Your mom's gonna be okay." One of them sniffled, "You promise?" He smiled softly. "I promise. You did the right thing." Within minutes, flashing lights appeared down the road. Paramedics rushed over and took over the scene, wrapping the woman in blankets and checking her vitals. Mark stayed with the girls, keeping them warm under his umbrella, holding one in each arm while they cried quietly. When the mother was finally lifted into the ambulance, she reached out weakly toward her daughters. "Please," she said to Mark, "could you bring them to the hospital?" "Of course," he said without hesitation. So he gathered the twins into his car, made sure they were buckled safely, and followed the ambulance to the nearest hospital. His own daughters sat silently in the back seat, their little faces full of worry. When they arrived, Mark helped the girls find their mother's room. The doctors said she'd be okay, a mild concussion, a few bruises, but nothing life-threatening. The twins ran to her bedside, hugging her tightly. Tears filled the woman's eyes as she whispered, thank you for stopping." Mark smiled humbly. "I just did what anyone should do." But the truth was, not everyone would have. Over the next few days, Mark visited the hospital a couple of times, bringing coloring books for the twins and checking in on their mother, whose name was Sarah. She explained that her car had broken down unexpectedly, and as she tried to call for help, she'd slipped on the wet road and hit her head. "I don't remember much after that," she said softly. "But my girls told me everything. They said a man came running through the rain, like a hero from a movie." Mark laughed a little. "A soggy hero, maybe." Sarah smiled, her eyes warm. "You didn't have to stop. But you did. And that means the world to me." Mark looked down for a moment. "I know what it's like to be out there with little kids and feel helpless. My girls and we've been through some tough times too. Sometimes, you just need someone to care." There was a quiet understanding between them, a shared sense of what it means to struggle, to keep going, and to find light in unexpected places. When Sarah was finally discharged, she insisted on meeting Mark's daughters. The two sets of twins instantly bonded, running around the hospital waiting room, giggling as if they'd been friends forever. Sarah knelt beside Mark's girls and said, "Your dad's a good man. You're lucky to have him." And his daughters, full of pride, replied, "We know." It was such a simple exchange, yet it spoke volumes. Weeks